So welcome guys. Today's topic is political parties. In this topic we will learn about the meaning of political parties, their functions and why do we need the political parties and how many parties should we have. So the political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. They agree on some policies and programs for the society with a view to promoting the collective good. Parties reflect the fundamental political divisions in a society. Parties are the part of a society and thus involve partnership. A political party has three components: the leaders, the active members, and the followers. Basically, political parties fill political offices and exercise political power. Parties do so by performing a series of functions. First of all, parties contest elections. In most democracies, elections are fought mainly among the candidates put up by political parties. Secondly, parties put forward different policies and programs and the voters choose from them. Parties play a decisive role in making laws for a country. Formally, laws are debated and passed in the legislature. Parties form and run the government. As we noted uh, earlierly, the big policy decisions are taken by the political executive that comes from the political parties. Those parties that lose in the elections play the role of opposition to the parties in power by voicing different views and criticizing the government for its failure or wrong policies. Parties shape public opinion. They raise and highlight issues. Parties have lakhs of members and activists spread all over the country. Parties provide people access to government machinery and welfare schemes implemented by the governments. So, why do we need the political parties? Firstly, political parties are easily one of the most visible institutions in our democracy. Parties have become identified with social and political divisions. Thirdly, not the least, about 100 years ago, there were a few countries of the world that had any political party, and there are now very few countries that do not have parties. As we have seen, large scale societies and representative of need the democracies. Political parties fulfill the needs of every representative the government has. So, how many parties should we have? In a democracy, any group of citizens is free to form the political party. In this formal sense, there are a large number of political parties in each country. More than 750 parties are registered with the Election Commission of India. In some countries, only one party is allowed to control and run the government. These are called the one party system. Uh, for example, in the China, only one political party, which is the Communist Party, is allowed to rule. We cannot consider one party system as a good option because this is not a democratic option. Any democratic system must allow at least two parties to compete in the election and provide a fair chance for the competing parties to come to the power. In some countries, power usually changes between two main parties, but only two main parties have a serious chance of winning the majority of seats to form the government. Such a party system is called two party system. If several parties compete for power and more than two parties have reasonable chance of coming to power either on their own strength or in alliance with others, we call it a multi-party system. When several parties in a multi-party system join hands for the purpose of contesting elections and winning power, it is called an alliance or a front. The multi-party system often appears very messy and leads to political instability. At the same time, this system allows a very variety of interests and opinions to enjoy political representatives. So thank you and see you in my next lecture.